Mr. Speaker, we will abolish the 10% withholding tax on betting. We will abolish the electronic transfer levy, E-Levy of 1%. We will abolish the emission levy, otherwise as in Wusie tax. We will abolish the VAT on motor vehicle insurance policy. Mr. Speaker, we will abolish the 1.5% withholding tax on unprocessed gold by small-scale miners. Mr. Speaker, the removal of these taxes will ease the burden on households.
Oh, the Asampanable 24-hour economy. Segudo mama. Hello guys, welcome to So and So. My name is Savior. 2025 budget has been presented to Parliament for the second quarter by the Finance Minister, Honorable Cassel Atto Forson. Our Finance Minister has presented the budget, and now there are big news in this budget. Now, there were a lot of expectation from Ghanaians concerning these budgets, especially concerning the promise made by the NDC, governments when they were in the position, their campaign, that they are going to cancel a lot of taxes. So there were a lot of expectation on these budgets that, hey, are they going to cancel it or are they going to do as 419? But yeah, the budget has been presented, and then the big things has been cancelled. Mama Onapo. The first thing on the list has been the betting tax. Yes, the 10% betting tax, that anytime that you win bets and you're about to withdraw your money, the government of Ghana decided to take 10% out of it, has been abolished. So the government intends to abolish the 10% betting tax on betting. The second one is the emission levy on industries and industries. So this emission tax that is being paid by the industries, right? It has been abolished by this new budget, as well as the 1% E-Levy, electronic levy, has been taken off in this new budget. So those are the three big levies that have been cancelled by this budget. As well, the COVID levy, people thought it would have been cancelled, but yes, it's not been cancelled yet. But we are hoping that in the subsequent budgets, the COVID levy too will be off. But now we have the betting tax off, the emission tax off, and then E-Levy, the almighty E-Levy, is off in this new budget. But there are more interesting news in the budget that we need to talk about. We have about 18 major steps that have been taken by this new government in this budget. In opposition, they promised this policy of big push, as in they want to establish a portfolio that they put about $10 billion that will push infrastructure development in the country. In this new budget, that's the first budget presented by President John Dramani Mahama. They've actually allocated about 13.35 billion Ghana cedis. Yes, 13.35 billion Ghana cedis into the big push agenda. Number two is that they have allocated 499.8 million Ghana cedi into the no academic fee policy. Now, the NDC promised in opposition that when they come to power, first-year students of all public tertiary education, they are not going to pay school fees in their first year. So they've allocated 499.8 million to tackle that. That means that from now on, when you're going to any public tertiary institution, your school fees for as a first-time student, you're not going to pay. The government to take care of it. And now they've allocated 499.8 million Ghana cedi to that. The next one is that they've allocated 292.4 million Ghana cedis to distribution of free sanitary pads for girl students in Ghana. One major policy that the Vice President Professor Jinan Opoku-Agyemang talk about heavily during their campaign that they are going to this. As a matter of fact, in the first NDC government, they tried to bring that policy up, but the opposition then, hit their back and they couldn't, implement that policy. NPP came 8 years, they couldn't do it. Now they've come back, and now in their first budgets, they've allocated 292.4 million Ghana cedis to distribute free sanitary pad for girls. I know the girls will be happy for that one as well. They've also allocated 242.5 million Ghana cedis to the victim of the Akosombo Dam spillage. So now, last 2 years, there was a dam spillage. Akosombo Dam was open, and people, especially in the North Tongue constituency, that's the Foreign Affairs Minister's constituency, Honorable Kujeto Ablakwa, his constituency, a lot of people were affected, and it became a lot of issue, especially after the president then, Nana Addo Dankwa, visited them and made a comment that the people didn't vote for him. So if he were to go by their votes, he wouldn't have even come to visit them at the first place. That issue was carried heavily during the campaign. Now the government has allocated 242.5 million Ghana cedis to the victim, to be distributed to the victim. Second is 200 million Ghana cedis as well has been allocated to the victim of the tidal wave that happened just last week in the Volta region. The people in the Ketu South constituency in the Volta region, they were tidal wave, destroying a lot of homes. President John Dramani Mahama was there himself. Another big news that is coming out of that is not actually for the visit, but his brother, Mr. Ibrahim Mahama, driving him when they went to that place. That was the news. Instead of us to focus on the visit and the way forward, that was actually the news that people were discussing. Now, the government in this new budget, yes, the first budget has allocated 200 million Ghana cedis to be, to serve those people that were affected by the tidal wave in the Volta region. Another one was 3.5 billion Ghana cedi allocated for free senior high school project. President John Dramani Mahama said he's not going to cancel the free SHS. He's here to make it better. And so the first budget, they've allocated 3.5 billion Ghana cedis for free senior high school education. As well, 564.6 million Ghana cedi has been allocated for curricular textbook printing. So to print free textbook for students, they've allocated 564.6 million Ghana cedi for the textbook printing in Ghana. The next one is 1.788 billion Ghana cedis allocated for school feeding program, feeding of our students. That's been going on for a while now. Started under President John Ajapong Kufuor. Now the government in the first budget has allocated 1.788 billion Ghana cedis for the distribution, to help in the feeding of our students. The next one is 145.5 million Ghana cedis allocated for the capitation grant. The next one is 203 million Ghana cedi allocated for the payment for teacher training allowances. Teacher training are suffering, lawyers are suffering, nursing training are suffering, doctors are suffering. Now they've allocated 203 million Ghana cedi for the payment for teacher training allowances. The next one is 480 million Ghana cedis has been allocated for the payment for nursing training allowances. That's over double of the amount allocated for the teacher training. That means that we have more nursing in training than teachers in training. We are training more nursing than teachers. Okay. Oh, yes, Nabu. 24-hour economy. They've allocated 9.93 billion Ghana cedi for the National Health Insurance Scheme. 9.93 billion Ghana cedi has been allocated for the National Health Insurance Scheme, as well as 2.81 billion Ghana cedi has been allocated for Ghana Road Funds. They've also allocated 7.51 billion Ghana cedi for the District Assembly Common Fund. common fund, that is the amount given to the various districts in the country to help in support their budgets. The district generate their revenue through their district revenue collection in their markets and on the small stores in the various districts. But the government needs to help them because there are some districts that generate a lot of revenue internally. So the government has also allocated 7.51 billion Ghana cedi for the district assembly common fund. We also have 1.5 billion allocation for the agriculture economic transformation agenda. Agriculture economic transformation agenda, AETA. Minister for Agric and then his deputy Honorable John Dumelo will be saying, "Oh, yes, I'm bush as a our economy." They'll be happy for that one as well. Number 16 on the list is 5.1 million Ghana cedi allocation as seed fund for the establishment of the Women's Bank. Hey, our market women. Oh, there are some bush, for our economy. Women's Bank has been promised by the NDC. Yes, and Vice President Professor Jenana Opoku-Agyemang, spearheaded that in the campaign very much. Finally, in the first budget of the NDC, they've allocated 51.3 million Ghana cedi for the establishment of the Women's Bank. So now we are going to have Women's Bank that is going to lend loan for our women, for the women, especially the market women, to establish their businesses or to fund their business, and it's going to come at a low interest rate. The next is 300 million Ghana cedi allocation for the National Apprenticeship Program. We also have 100 million allocation for the Ejime Rural Program. They've also promised Ejime Rural that is going to have a little bill for the Ekuko Nkitikiti program. 100 million Ghana cedi has been allocated for that sector as well. We also have 100 million allocation for the National Coded Program. The NDC also promised that they are going to enroll about 1 million Ghanaian youth into coding. So in the first budget, they've allocated 100 million Ghana cedi to start that program. One major thing in the government's budget is 100 million Ghana cedi allocation for the payment of assembly members. Yes, NDC promised that when they come to government, they are going to pay allowances for all assembly members. Right now, assembly members election is going to be and assembly member is no more going to be only motorbikes. So Sika allowances are going to be part of it. Sika, Ega, Kuri, Koba is going to be in it. Incentive is coming to the assembly members. So assembly members from next month going allow. So allowance is not only going to drop for teachers or nursing. So nurses are going to have allow. Nurses training are going to have allow. Teacher trainings allow. Assembly members allow. Allow has dropped. Very soon, assembly members will be going for picketing demonstration. Say allow no drop. Right now, teachers will go demonstration. Nurses will go demonstration. Assembly members will say, "Hey, allow no drop. Government allow." But more and more, motorbike na muchi. You see, I'll be able to so mumi allow kakra and check your assembly members say allow no drop. Well, allow where has it started? Please. Before you run like next month, assembly will say allow no drop yet. It's been 2 weeks, it'll be 3 days, allow no drop. But more motorbike na munya. To see a motorbike will come plus allow. So assembly members, if allow starts, please munya butre, cool down. Stop doing that. Assembly member will come right now to the district assembly and do telling that DC that please allow no drop. My people are calling me. See my phone. They keep on calling. I
haven't even read them because they keep on coming. I think that I have to turn one of the phone off.
You haven't read any of them? Messages of support?
No, not at all. Look, they still calling. Phones are calling. So that shows how joy people are in our country.
Okay, assembly. I would say. Assembly, I would say Yes, so these are some few things, that the finance minister highlighted. Those are the few things that has come, and we are hoping that all will be achieved, and then they will have the money to be able to do more for the people. But the big news has been the cancellation of the E-Levy and then the betting tax, as well as the emission tax. Emission tax, people don't talk about it much because it's mostly the industry that paid that, tax, so people don't talk about it. COVID levy has not been cancelled, but the most of the cry has been coming from the betting tax and then the E-Levy sector. So thank you, the president and then the finance team, for cancelling these big taxes. One also thing that the finance minister talked about is, a day before he presented the budget, that was yesterday night, he had a meeting with the youth on Twitter X, on Kalijay Space, and then he allowed a lot of youth to bring on board their views and things that they want to be done. And then Dr. George on Twitter, had the platform, and he talked about some amount of, he was talking about 321 pharmacists that were posted 3 years ago by the previous government, and they've not been paid their salaries for over 2 years of working. They've not been paid their salary. So Dr. George made that, cry to the finance minister last night on Twitter Space with Kalijay. And today, the finance minister spoke about it, that they are going to pay the pharmacists, 321 of them, their money. So Dr. George, your petition has been heard by finance minister, and it was presented to Parliament fully today.
Speaker, we also engage the youth of Ghana in a dialogue on social media as part of our new budget consultation. The Speaker, during my engagement with the youth, it was revealed that 321 pharmacists who were employed since June 2023 have not received their salaries. We will take urgent steps to remedy this situation immediately.
Yes, that's a listening government. And before that Twitter Space, he was actually at Makola Market to interact with the market women as well. That is something that we need to encourage. As a leader, as a government, you need not to work for the people. You need to work with the people. Everything that you are doing, make them involved, carry them along. Let's take decision, so that when the thing is not being done, they will also know that these are the reason why the thing is not being done. But if you say that I'm working for them, and so they should be there, I'll do my thing, write my thing, and come and present it to them. When it's not working, they don't know the reason why it's not working. They will not point fingers at you that you are a liar. So as a government, work with the people, be a listening government, interact with the people, have dialogue with the people, community dialogue with the people, one-on-one, especially the youth, the market women, the activists, every worker, involve them. All ministry. This shouldn't be a work for the finance minister alone. As an agri minister, you need to interact with the farmers as well as fisheries minister. And I want to say a shout out to the fisheries minister, Honorable Emilia Alta. She's doing very well interacting with the fisher folks, the fishermen association. You need to interact more with them to know their need. And anything that you're doing, you do it together with them. Take decisions together. In all sectors, the foreign affairs minister, the communication minister, he also communicates very well with the people. He's always online, replying to people's, cry and people's concern. He's replying to them. That is very good. Work with the people. Engage them always in everything that you want to do. And you will be the government for the people. Democracy is government for the people, by the people, with the people, in the people, in the people, in the people. Yes, this is so and so. My name is Xavier Mahama. Oh, Sampanabu, 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 E-Levy, we dey scrap, Mama, Sampanabu, Sampanabu, betting tax, we dey scrap, say, Mama, so my name is Xavier for now. Yeah.